Yo, it's Kendrick be the one. Man, I'm sick and sick of this bullshit. I'm not even gonna hold you because I want to talk about that MK
Why
controversy.
don't they build me when it's over?
Man, I'm not even gonna hold you. That MK stuff had me livid. As a person who always been a fan of Mortal Kombat, I have always loved the DLCs, the add-ons, and always paid extra for it. But seeing the combat pack now, I'm disappointed. And not only that, it just feels at all the defending that anybody could do. I defended the game being fun, defended the game past all the bullshit that I did. Yeah, I stopped playing it when it was having its bugs and glitches, but now there's no defending this shit. It's ass. It's done. It's cooked.
Screw you. Damn bureaucrats. We're on our own.
We can handle it, Jim. What's the latest?
We've got incidents cropping up all over the city. Cash, give us a rundown.
All right, let's see. First up, we've lost contact with the fire crew from Station 17. We've got their last known coordinates, but they're not going to survive out there on their own for long. Then there's this. It's a strange one. Body turned up.
I also want to talk more than just about the MK shit. I want to talk about like a little bit of my
Also, we've had
rant on DC. I know that's what I did the first time when I made this video, so I want to continue doing that. I'm not going to hold you.
I know you're busy, but anything you can do to help is going to save lives.
Don't
DC
worry,
is
Jim.
so.
I have someone working a lead on Scarecrow.
I don't have a
I'll
problem
see
with
what I
DC.
can
I
do.
love DC. I love everything about the stories, the comic books, and all that. But when it comes to DC, it's so. The main thing that stays on my mind is
I'll look
that
into these later.
there's
Scarecrow's
so
a priority.
many characters, so many people that I want to get a story of or want to see.
God knows how we got out
Yeah,
without shooting anyone.
we don't even get to see anything. I would love to see a Jason Todd story. I would love to see a better story on Damian Wayne where he grows up, other than like following in the other Robin's footsteps. I would love to see what happens after Batman. But even like beyond like everything that happens during Gotham, like there's more stories than like Batman that I would want to hear. Like Flash, I'm not gonna lie, the Flash story, I was a big fan of like the Flash TV show before it turned sucky. But shit like that, I feel like you can make a good show that easily able to like have all the key qualities, the characters that we want to see, the fucking general fucking wokeness that has everyone in it without changing characters that don't need to be changed. Like, I would love to see a Jason Todd story without any of the main bad families just randomly turning gay. I feel like the only reason I could say that is because someone will listen to that story and be like, oh yeah, the Bat Family would be an amazing concept. Let's turn Dick or someone gay. Like, fuck their story, fuck their original story, just turn them gay. I don't care about that. I don't really care about the LGBT community in these stories. I just hate when, like, they're pushed on to the fact that, like, you completely forget, like, everything when it comes to the actual general history of the character. Now, if you're making your own character, then that's different. But like, sound like Yeesuke, bro. When I heard Assassin's Creed was making Yeesuke gay, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. That kind of took me, cause like, again, you could have like
Do I come back
Exio,
yet? Start messing with all your
no,
stuff?
not Exio,
You've managed to
Alexio.
reduce the
He was
compound to its
saying
core.
there he could have sex with anybody he want. He could do anything he want. Nigga can rig up an old lady if he wanted. if that was the story, okay, but like
Jim, we've got a way to find out where
that was
Crane's working from.
that was historically accurate to like for the region they were in, like for like the Japanese history. I feel like you're just taking some of their heritage and just fucking it over. Like I think that shit's wild. And like again, I hate to say like all this on the game that I love, like over this Batman game because I love Batman. I feel like this game should already get like a lot of props, but I'm getting copyrighted for this video anyway. So why don't I just ran as much as I can?
You see Batman, shout and charge him. Never fails.
Now, I'm not gonna hold you. I know that can just be like the boring controversy. Like we can always sit here and talk about like the bad stuff of the game, like why the game isn't working on that like one small fixture that like they taken away from history. Like it shouldn't be that serious. Like someone who don't care about like the history of all those Assassin's Creed games, I never really care. It's just again, it's all real life history, and like again, Alexios, he was basically a person who became a fucking demigod the whole time, and like the story had nothing to do with a human.
Generator's damaged.
No one cared
Need to
about that
bypass
story.
it. Power
Yeah,
gets
everybody
in
want to
directly.
care about the Yusuke story.
How can I help you this time?
Is the power
I guess
ready
because it
for
hits a little
deployment?
bit too close to home
100% functional.
and a little bit farther away from home at the same time. You're hitting both sides.
You read my mind.
Again, I'm kind of neutral against all this shit. Like when they changed the fucking cyber fucking linkway thing to like the two females taking over, even though they have the two cameos of Sexter and Cyrax. Like I don't care. It is what it is. It's just again, you're not really explaining how this works with the story. You're just changing these characters just because you feel like it should be changed. And again, I understand the diversity. I understand wanting to make more people like feel like they're represented, but you're taking what's already like giving like most of these people like their clarity of representing. Like I feel like a lot of people fuck with Cyrax because he was a
I'll
smooth
improvise.
black ninja who was able to sit here in the cyberlink play around all these whiter individuals. And not to bring race into it, it just seemed like he was the only dark-skinned person other than Jack, and you wouldn't even know he was dark-skinned. It's just, it was so perfect to use him. Now to have someone like that changed to a female, that I actually can't complain about. But to change both of them into a female and like just fully change the story into something that like not really makes sense in the long run is just kind of confusing. That's it. It's like, again, if no one cares about it, what was the point of making the change? If you knew no one was gonna care. But if you felt like people was gonna make a big deal about it, then again, what was the point of the change? Like, it's not really something I heard anybody want. It's not really the representation that I really think anybody cared about for real. And I can understand some people probably sit there and be like, oh, you're butthurt because one of your male characters is probably
The
turned
anchor
into
point
a
is secured
female.
to the wall. I can't move it using the Batmobile.
Not
Maybe I can hold
really,
the car's
because
weight.
again, like, it is what it is. I don't mind the characterization turning like the fucking full character into a female or male. It could be whatever. I really don't give a fuck. The part that I really, like I said, I don't understand is how does this work with the story? How does this make sense? Is that like, that's all I'm waiting for. And I know I can't say nothing because it's not out yet, but like, again, I want to know, like, is there two sex stores? Is there two Cyraxes? Are the cameos just not really a part of it? Can they take the cameos out? Like, is there a lot of stuff, like, MK can they fix? And beyond that, like, I really think it's kind of crazy that, like, we get these stories with false representation that just mess up the story or make the story at least lackluster.
What you're working on is more important, Tim.
Can wait one night. Let me help.
I've got this under control.
Okay. Listen, try checking in once in a while.
Like, the story that I was trying to make in the first one, me and the more single mindset, I could say having someone like Damien or having someone like Dick actually have a child into the story that has a mixed race, inherits some of the Bat family fame and all that. It doesn't have to be like right after Arkham verse, because again, y'all could let Batman die peacefully. I feel like the Suicide Squad killed the story, and that's the only reason why I want to remake the whole verse. Well, I feel like remaking the verse might actually be more useful. But it's hard for me to say that when, like, in this game, they ended the story so good. Like, if I was able to play any of the other Batman games other than, like, the Gotham Knights, the one that had the lackluster gameplay, then, like,
Scarecrow's men, 5 soldiers.
I don't know,
all
like, I
armed.
feel like more
If
people
I
will
leave
like
them,
it.
they'll kill the hostage and need to reach a vantage
Like,
point
I'll
to draw them
probably like you to
outside.
play Arkham City or Arkham Asylum. I love to play it.
5 soldiers, all armed. If I alert them, they'll kill the hostage and need to reach a vantage point to draw them outside.
Where's the vantage point?
If I can separate them, they'll be easier to take down.
Batarang. Batarang.
Hey, you hear that? Someone's out there. You two,
I would love
take
to
a
make
look.
like a Damien
Door stays
story,
locked. I'm taking no chances.
really. Like Damien taking the mantle of Batman and turning into the Batman that Bruce would actually think he could be. And not just something like that. Like, you could sit there and say that everybody else is still continuing their story. Red Hood is in there. Jason, he adopted the family, saying that they're the family that he needs. You got fucking Damien fully taking the responsibility, learning how to be Batman, controlling his temper, being a cooler Batman than you think he would be. A more calm-minded person who doesn't take the lethal force, having a suit like
3 more
this,
soldiers inside.
covering
They
his
think they're safe if they
face,
stay
so
together.
people know that's not the same Batman that, like, that's
Lucius, I've got a
gone.
hostile
Like, he's
situation.
trying to put the
3
illusion
gunmen.
that
I need to take
no
them all
matter
out
who's
before they can
behind the
react.
mask,
Is it ready?
he should still be
Flexible plates
scared.
over an MR fluid armor layer.
Now,
You'll
he
move
still works
faster
with,
in your
like,
order.
Dick and all
And
them
scarier while
to,
going
like,
through.
go across the city. I think I said that, like, in my last one. Like, they all work across the city. You got them splitting up to Gotham, always helping each other and double teaming. But you make some shit like Wayne Tower, Damien, he takes over that, and he rebuilds around Wayne Manor. But he rebuilds in a different spot. He fully abandons everything there, and he tells them that the Batcave was completely destroyed. So, like, if they sit here and start looking for the stuff, it'll have traps, it'll have stuff that'll already collapse or make the cave way more seem unsafe, but really, you'll be okay. Anybody who's brave enough to actually get past all those traps, get past anything, will probably see a half-destroyed Batcave. I want to say something like that for like Damien's son. Like you could give it to a black kid. Like you could say the League of Assassins sent someone out to kill the person intimidating to be Batman. They was trying to see if they could test the person who's out there, not knowing that it's Damien. Realizing that he has similar skills, they sent one of their top assassins. It'll be a black girl, doesn't matter the name, you can name her Tanya, you can name her anything. She could just be a beautiful black queen who sits here and seduces Damien, and it will be like a Batman Catwoman situation. The only difference is she takes off the mask and she realizes who it is. But after that, it gone too far. He hits her with the Wayne swagger that ends up playing her into the trance, wanting to be with him. Now Damien ended up raising her up instantly. I love it. Like it would be a smooth story like that, a smooth love story. The only thing is that would be a betrayal of the League of Assassins, so they have her killed. Having like Damien to raise this son alone, after she give birth to the kid, she will be executed, and the kid will be to live in the League of Assassins. When Damien found out that she was a part of the League of Assassins, the first night he went to look for her, to find out that she was going to be transported and executed. But don't worry, he'll get to see his son at least, to protect him. His son doesn't turn out the way he does. He ends up goes in and he tries to like attack the full League of Assassins, making sure that he gets his kid at the end. He wouldn't be able to save the mother, so they can have like the same tragic like fate. Like, you know, every Robin was orphaned or had some bad thing about them. Cartoon, like you can make it first like a child cartoon for Batman. That would be hard, like smooth animated, like what was the show? Batman Beyond. Yeah, like Batman Beyond, just a different Earth. Just the idea that this is the Earth that like.
I've activated the AR training program. Should you want to run diagnostics or just break it in?
This would be the Earth that like Batman, he almost gets his identity
Time to put this suit to the test.
found out, and he tries to retire, but the Justice League, they ended up taking over. They ended up making sure that he would never get caught and that nothing will happen.
The new suit is faster.
All he'll have to do is make sure that he can go off planet and help them. He will actually join the Justice League and stay on the tower like Martian Manhunter and the rest of them.
I need to help the hostage before I activate the antenna.
I feel like that would be like a smooth arc for Batman, like him becoming a multiversal hero, a person who goes from planet to planet helping, a person who actually saves the Earth on orbit. Like, I would love all of that. That shit would be hard. But then you will have like more shit to add to the story, like maybe someone like
that son of a bitch needs to be stopped.
Jason. he would be a mentor for Robin's son. Like, I could see Jason working in like the slums or the lower areas, working where like most people wouldn't want to, like the hoods and shit. He would be sitting there
Oracle,
like
let me
one of
touch
the
the
most
updates.
best hood heroes. Like the cops would be shooting at him. They would think that he's still a killer and think that he still used more lethal intent. But he fully restrained from that. Dick is keeping him in check, and he's also
Time to find
having
Scarecrow.
Damien to worry about. Damien's his little brother now. He has another little brother to worry about, someone to actually sit here and like fully rely on. That fully relies on him, and he's also going through
I need to
something
use
big,
both
trying
antennas to identify the micro
become
and radio
Batman.
wave frequencies across Gotham.
That's gonna be like
If I
the
can
biggest
find both
thing.
frequencies at the same location, I'll know
Like
where
this is
Scarecrow is
full
manufacturing
Gotham.
his
I
toxin.
could say that like where I am now, this will all be Red Hood's area, and he'll most likely be sitting here. I feel like Red Hood would be using his influence across Gotham, like to still strike fear, but in less of a way to like hurt, and more of like something that I think Batman would like accept. I feel like he would sit here and use that as an excuse to stay close to his nephew that he feels like is an important thing in his life.
The radio and microwave frequencies point to Ace
I
Chemicals.
feel like
That's where
when it
Scarecrow's
comes
producing the toxin.
to Damien, he's probably
Jim,
more
I traced the
cold
fear
to
toxin
raising
Ace
his
Chemicals.
son.
That's where we'll
Like,
find Scarecrow.
Impossible.
the only
I've
thing
had a
is he
team
probably
there ever
never
since the
wanted him to be a
evacuation started,
Robin.
just like you asked.
Like,
Crane
you
must
could
have
like
bought them
name
off.
this the last Robin or
worse.
some shit.
I'm in the area.
You
I'll
could
round
put
up
him
the
in
guys
like
and
the
head
Teen Titans,
Hold
or
up
put
until I
him
get there,
into
Jim.
like
I'm on my
any
way.
type of, I would say, hero group. Like, I would love if they, instead of making the Teen Titans, like they make something completely new, like another Young Justice group that's fully re-immersed with the new heroes that are coming up. I know I did bag in the last video about like I'm Not Starfire and all them, but I still feel like comics like them have potential. I feel like if we have a hero that we can deeply despise, deeply hate, yet still learn the lessons and learn how to change from their deep racist or hated ways and becoming the heroes that we need, I feel like that would be like a more realistic turn on a hero. Like, imagine this white girl with anger problems who hate everybody around her, who just has a problem with like every dickhead that smiles. Like, she would not be Starfire, but that's the point. Like, she has to show in her own way how like amazing she can be. Yeah, at the same time, I feel like that can be hard when the story like makes her so unlikable.
Any
Like,
word
one
from
story
inside?
wouldn't be enough to
Nothing.
make us like her
We think there's
just
a
because she
skeleton
unlocked
crew
her
left
powers.
in
I
there,
feel
but
like
they're not
something more like
responding and the
her
facility's
meeting
locked down.
Nubia,
If they're
the
still
Wonder
alive,
Woman
I'll
girl.
find
Like, I feel like that would be
They should be able to
hard.
tell us
I
what
feel
Scarecrow's
like
up to.
it would be two people who hate each other. Like,
What
she
the
would get
hell?
mad at her for her whiteness, and she would get mad at her for being stuck up. Like, that would be perfect. And then you have the son of Damien in the middle of it. He's looking at both of them. He's a witch himself.
Let's go! Come on,
He's
move!
spoiled, but he's also had the training of the League of Assassins. He thinks that he's better than them because he doesn't sit here and indulge himself with the petty disagreements or petty hate and all that shit. I would love if they make a story like that. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, I would be way happier if they made a story like fully changing who they are, but actually building an art from it. Like I can imagine Nubia sitting here and looking back to the white guy who tried to date her, and that's something that actually happened in the
Friend of
comics.
yours?
But it would be on some shit like that. I feel like
Stay
the white
here,
guy who
and I'll go
tried
find
to
out.
sit here and assault her. The step of like him sitting here on some shit like apologizing for his
First, I need to
whiteness
investigate the
or
compound.
going into
First, I
like
need to investigate the compound.
this school shooter rampage that makes him a hater, because like that was another thing that happened. Like I think it would be better if they pushed it more on some shit like fucking Carnage situation. You have him locked up, she meets
Oracle,
him,
whoever this
but
guy
that's
is,
not
he's
who she
assembled
was
an
going
army.
to see.
I need
She
a
ends
name.
up confronting
All
him,
right. We've got
and
something here
he
from a
sits
black ops team
there
operating in
and
Venezuela.
he was
They
like,
discovered
you
a
know,
hidden training facility housing
I
soldiers
used
bearing
to
the
be
same insignia.
fine,
There's nothing
but
but
you
speculation
made
on
me
their commander,
scared
though.
of black people.
The only thing sources agree on is his
If it
name.
wasn't for your violence,
Arkham
your
Knight.
uppityness,
The Arkham
I
Knight.
would be, I
Hack
would
into
be a
their
normal
comms.
person. I was
I
still
need
be
to
in
know what
school.
they're
I wouldn't have
planning.
done none of
Anything
this shit I done.
There's a crew of
Again,
Ace
he
Chemicals
wasn't
workers
blame
left on
himself
site.
because
They'll be able to help us track down Scarecrow and locate
he's
his
not right in
mom.
the head.
I need
You're
to
not
find
trying to
Each
make a
worker will be
hero
carrying
who,
a unique ID
like,
chip.
you're not trying to make
If I can
someone who,
access their
like, we
personnel
instantly
records,
I'll be
grab
able to track
sympathy
them.
for.
There's a
We just
security
like,
terminal in
damn,
a booth near your
we
location.
didn't like this character
Try
already,
there.
but now we having the story that other people's are, like, seeing here, seeing that other than, like, just indulging what makes them unlikable. Like, why would I sit here and watch like 5 pages of her basically being oppressed by white people, a Karen, a cop, and all that, when like one black person comes and be like, look, you good, we proud of you, you're amazing, you're the one that we want, don't forget that. Like, I'm not saying that like
There
the
are
whole
5
thing is
soldiers,
bad. I'm not
each one
saying that
armed and
the
dangerous.
whole show is
Before I can
like,
access that terminal,
I
I'll need to
mean,
take
like
them
the
down.
whole comet is like something that's like unredeemable or undoable. It's just, it's so, it's kind of cringy how I could say it, because like I see heroes that we've seen turned into like bastardized versions of themselves, basically. That's how I feel. Like, I'm not Starfire. I feel like she's a perfect version of what Starfire would never be or would never do. That's why she will work. Because if Starfire was ever like that, she wouldn't be liked. No one would care about her.
It's
Her
safe to
story
access
would
the
be
terminal.
untold. It would stay the way that it is, but again, no one would like her in the beginning. At least people like her story, and people forget about her.
Let's
Like,
see
I
if
love
Oracle was
Starfire.
right.
Yeah, I haven't read many of her comics, but I read a lot of
Data
Teen
connection
Titan
active.
comics. I read
Data
a lot
decrypting.
of fucking
Somebody
Young
needs to upgrade the
Justice
security
comics.
protocols.
I read the comics that I felt like was good. I felt like the comics that represented like certain characters. Now, I did have one
Oracle,
comic
I've
that
got the
she
ID
was in
codes. If I reach a high
that I
vantage point, I
think
can use the bat scanner to locate the
she
workers.
basically was
Okay,
like
I've
being
marked
the
the
whole
tallest structure in the
fucking
area on your
boss during that
map.
whole
Try
shit.
not to
Like,
fall.
I ain't even gonna lie. It was like one of the high definition Starfires, like the beautiful Starfire, and I'm not Starfire, like the same one that they try to show there. And again, like, it's someone like that that I love that they make stories about. Wonder Woman, Starfire, people like that. And not only that, they're adding on to it by making their next generation, or making someone who's an add-on. It's just, why do it with an unlikable character if you're not going to proceed the story into changing them from their unlikable qualities? Bruce doesn't work alone always. He sits there and he changed his I work alone strategy to becoming the type of person to actually sit here and let his guard down and start a family. he learned that he doesn't need to have his parents back. There's nothing he could do to get them back, and that was something that actually made Batman more interesting, that he can grow past like something that started him as a character, and it made the whole story, in my standing, better.
I should investigate the facility first. Then I can come back to the car. I should investigate the facility first. Then I can come back to the car. I should investigate the facility first.
I feel like
Then I
these
can
guys
come back
are
to the
immortal.
car. I should investigate the facility first. Then I can come back to the car.
I forgot.
First, I need to
I'm
investigate the
playing on
compound.
very hard. But
I should investigate the
it's a lot
facility
more
first.
I wanted to
Then I can
rant
come back to the
about,
car.
but to see like a perfect opportunity to like talk about the story and talk about
First,
like
we need to
not what
investigate
I
the
would call
compound.
competitive stories. It's just someone who actually has an interest in the same like genre that I've been like talking about. Like I would love to make another DC like next
First, I
gen
need to
genre
investigate the compound.
that actually goes from the characters that we love, and not only that, the people who's around them, like Damian, Dick, Jason. Wouldn't you love a story that has Batman fully making up with Jason, fully sitting there telling Barbara that there's a way that she can walk again, letting her run away with Tim, letting Dick sit here and be the Nightwing that he wants to be? Wouldn't you want to see the happy ending? And that's all I want to say. Like, I can help make that happy ending, or shit, if there's not me, we can have someone else who's sitting here watching this video who loves Marvel, DC, all these other franchises, and who would love to help make some more stories. I love content, but half of the shit that people been making lately, it's ass. And maybe y'all listening to this and y'all like, bro, this man's like yabbing on, but man, I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like this shit would be halfway better than most of the shit that we got now. But I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna let this video in. I'm gonna play a little bit of Batman more, see if I can get me to a higher point. But please, let it stay in your mind and think about like half of the shit that I said, especially about the Mortal Kombat shit. Cause come on, never wrong. Like, someone, please. If I'm paying $110 for your game and you sitting here on some shit like you not willing to at least slide that add-on for free, you don't even need to add the characters. Add the skins, just add the characters. Like, that's it. I don't care about the story. I just want like the characters. Shit, I'll even just take the story, like one or the other. Like that, I just don't want to have to pay for the story that I already spent like 110. Cause like if I knew it was like that, I probably wouldn't have got the game at all. Like I probably would just waited for the next Mortal Kombat when they could actually fix their shit. But I digress. I'll see y'all next time. Please like and subscribe. And again, sorry for yapping. I hope y'all enjoy my next video. Most likely it's gonna be a God of Negroes.